Hi, I'm Mary Grace Pineda, and I'm from the Science Department. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a virtual escape room using Google Forms. My students use the escape room that I made to review for their quiz on speed and velocity, and I think they enjoyed that more than just being given a list of problems to solve. So I'm going to start with a blank Google form. Going to open one. Yep. And I'm just going to copy paste from the escape room that I made. I added a very simple storyline to my escape room. There, Lightning McQueen needs help. But if you plan on making one, you can be straightforward with your um, instructions or with your directions, like answer the all the or three questions correctly, something like that. But mine, I just added, a very simple storyline. Lightning McQueen needs help. Help Lightning McQueen get out of a locked room. He needs to enter the key code to unlock the door. Answer three questions correctly to get the three numbers. So this section is like my first page. So I don't need any question for this. So I'm going to delete this part. I'll click on this. There. So that's my first page. Now I'm going to add the next page or the next section. On the right side, you have here different icons. Click on the bottom icon, two horizontal bars. Okay. It says there, section 2 of 2. So that's your second page. And this is where I'm going to put the first question. I'll just label this first number. Or if you can think of any creative title for that, go ahead. And then I'll include or I'll put instructions for my students. Now, this is where I'm going to put the first question. So I'm going to add a question. So on the right side again, you have this icon, the cross icon. I'll click on that one, add question. There. I'll copy paste the first question. There you go. And for this, I just need to change multiple choice to short answer. Now, if you want to add pictures, you just click on this icon next to the question, and I'll get my picture from my documents. Or you can um, get some get your picture from Google image search. Okay, so that's it. Okay, next, before you add another section, make sure you click this required. And then you have three dots here next to required. You click on that and then click response validation. Okay, the expected answer for this is a letter. So I'm going to change number. You see this, the first column says number. I'll change that to text and contains. Now, you will type here the correct answer. So in this case, Sally is the answer. And I'm just going to type letter S because my instruction says take the first letter of the answer. S. And then here, you're going to type the feedback that the student will get just in case he or she gets the wrong answer. So I'll say, try again. Okay, okay, so that's our first question. And then if the students get the correct answer, if the student gets the correct answer, then you can, give the first number. So I'll add another section, and then I'll type here, congratulations, and I'll add, I'll click add questions, or you can add image. This time I'll use Google search for this. Say number 9. Oops. And then I'll just click any number 9 there. Okay, so there's the first number. Okay, and then you can add another section for the next question. Okay, and then I'll just label this second number. And then add instructions. Again, you can be straightforward with your instructions, um, or you can, um, again, add a simple storyline. Okay, so that's the second number. So I'm going to add a question for this. Oh, for the student to get the second number, he or she has to get the s- next two questions correctly. So I'm going to add two questions for this number. So I'll add question and copy paste. There you go. Again, I'll change multiple choice to short answer. And you can add pictures. Just click on this icon. Um, okay, there you go. That's the picture. And then on the bottom again, click required. And then click on the three dots, response validation. Now the expected answer for this is a number, so I'll stick to this, but I'll change this to equal to. There's an exact answer. And oops, the answer is negative 25.6. Um, I instructed the students to not include the units, so I'll just put the number there. And then same thing, I'll type in the feedback that students will get in case they get the wrong answer or they type the wrong answer. Okay? And then you can add another question, but um, I suggest instead of clicking add question, I'll click add section and I'll type in, say, second number. And then add an instruction here or a direction. And then I'll click add question. I'm um, doing copy paste from my original escape room. So there's the question. Again, I'll change multiple choice to short answer. I'm going to add a picture. Mm, there you go. Okay. And then click required. Don't forget that. And then three dots. I'll click response validation. The expected answer here is a letter. So I'm going to change this to text. Contains the answer here is letter C. I'll type C. And then again, I'm going to type try again, the feedback that students will get in case they get the wrong answer. Okay, so if the students get both questions correctly, then they'll get the second number. I'll click on this, add section, and then type congratulations. And then I'll add picture. Let's say number 2. Yeah, number 2. There you go. And then you can just add more sections or more questions. Let's say I'll end here. type the key code, and help Lightning McQueen get out. So um, I'm going to click, after this, I'm going to click add question, and then put key code and short answer. And you have to change it. And then again, I'm going to click required. Sometimes I forget that. Um, and then click this response validation. The expected answer is a number. So number equal to 94. Oh, wait, 92. Sorry. 92. And try again. And there. That's the escape room. Let's see how it looks like from the student's view. So I'll click on this icon here. It's like a, yeah, preview icon. Let's see, share this tab. So there, so that's our first page. And then I'm going to click next. And there's my first number, our first question. Which of the three? So the expected answer here is Sally, so letter S. If I type letter L, that's the response that the students will get. If I type the correct answer, which is S, next, they go to the next section. So they get the first number. And then next, here's the next question. The answer for this is negative 25.6. If I type 20, wrong answer. If I type, say, 25.6, there's no negative sign. Still, let's try again. Or if I type negative 25.6, say, meters per second, so the number is correct, but there's a unit, it's still incorrect, considered incorrect. 25.6. Next. Okay. And then here's the next question. Which of the following? So the answer here is C. If I click C, next, get the second number. Go to the next one and type the key codes. I'm going to type 92 and submit. And there. If you want your student, yeah, your students can probably answer this again and again to review for their quiz. Um, yeah, so that's how you can create a virtual escape room using Google Form. I hope you learned something from me. Thank you and have a great day.